Welcome to another MSC webinar. Today's topic is specialty leaders, detailers, and placement officers.
This presentation contains audio narration. Please ensure your computer speakers are turned on to hear the sound. As a clinical or scientific staff corps officer, you might be wondering, what's in it for me? In short, a little extra knowledge like this will help you steer your career in the direction you want it to go. And it's not just about securing your desired orders, although this information will certainly help you do that. It will expand your professional military knowledge, which will almost certainly pay off as you progress through your career.
To put it simply, the placement officer is interested in getting billets filled for the command. Your specialty leader is a key player in the overall direction of your subspecialty and may have some influence in your next set of orders. It all really depends on the relationship with the detailer. The detailer is ultimately responsible for your orders. While they likely take input from the specialty leader, at the end of the day, they're the ones who control your fate. If you didn't already know, they're who you need to get in touch with for issues like co-location and exceptional family members. The placement officer's job is to ensure the command's billets are filled with qualified officers. You may go through several sets of orders without speaking to yours. That isn't to say you can't contact them, though. They may be able to provide information on the existence or requirements of any non-traditional or one-off billets available to your community. Just keep in mind, their job is ensuring commands are staffed up and not in developing an individual's career goals. Groups of subspecialties and communities have their own placement officers. We'll get to how to find and contact yours shortly. Your specialty leader is a senior member from your own community that works for BUMED. First, you should know that they don't write your orders, although the detailers may consult them before making these types of decisions. The degree on this interaction between the specialty leader and detailer probably depends mostly on the size of your specialty. Ideally, they have an interest in your career development and, especially early on, can help out with career and goal-oriented decisions. If they haven't asked for it yet, it's a good idea to send them your military bio and CV, as it may help you secure certain orders. Plus, as a senior member of your community, it never hurts to keep them informed of your progress. Hopefully you know who your specialty leader is, but if not, there's a few places you can search to find out. Both the Medical Service Corps and Career Development Board pages on Millbook have specialty leader lists under the Content tabs. If you're still not sure, you can also ask around within your own community. While we're on the topic of Millbook, your subspecialty probably has its own Millbook page with this sort of information on it.
Your detailer works for PERS and is the person who will cut your next set of orders. They are also an advocate for you and your career aspirations. Just keep in mind they will always have to balance your wants with the needs of the Navy while ensuring that people are qualified for the billets they're filling. If you have any special circumstances, like co-location or dependents in the Exceptional Family Members program, they'll need to know, and the earlier the better. Unlike the placement officer, you absolutely should be in touch with your detailer if you care about where you go next. Finally, your detailer can also update AQDs in your service record. While specialty leaders should be fairly easy to find on Millbook, finding your detailer placement officer will have to look at the new My Navy HR website. Finding your detailer is simple on the mynavyhr.navy.mil website. Follow the drop-down menus at the top of the page from Career Management, Detailing, Officer, PERS 44 Staff, to Medical Assignments. On the Medical Assignments page, click on Medical Service Corps on the menu to the left. Here you'll find your detailer under the appropriate subspecialty category. Notice that there's an additional option to view the placement officer.
Now that you have an idea of who these officers are, what can you do with this information? This knowledge by itself has limited utility, but think of it as a way to strengthen your career prospects. For example, if you didn't know who your specialty leader was before, or you haven't spoken with them outside of PCS wish lists, take the time to drop them a message that includes your bio and CV. And on that note, if you don't have a formal military bio and CV, now is as good a time as any to get one started. Keep your records and bio up to date. You never know when a unique billet might pop up that requires a specific set of skills or AQDs. Try not to be a stranger in your community. Get active in your junior officer society, get on Millbook, network, and request a career development board. Volunteer or anything else you can think of so senior members know who you are. Trying to select future billets and plan your future in smaller communities can be difficult, where it seems like every domino has to fit into place perfectly before everyone gets to move. Just a quick note on PRD versus availability. Your PRD is an estimate, and it's not set in stone. Availability depends more on the actual logistics and needs of the command you're leaving and the one you're moving to, and includes the person who is going to fill your spot. See how quickly that becomes complex? In other words, again, the needs of the Navy hold more sway than your PRD when it comes to time to move. We've covered a lot of details, but as long as you remember what or who each position advocates for, you'll have a better idea of who you need to talk to. The placement officer works on behalf of the command to fill billets. Your specialty leader works for BUMED and may have varying levels of influence on your orders depending on your subspecialty, and is also a good reference for career development. Your detailer works for PERS and ultimately gets you your orders, balancing your desires and career goals with the needs of the Navy. A little bit of extra behind-the-scenes knowledge can go a long way in helping you get your desired set of orders.
Senior members, either within your subspecialty or the Medical Service Corps, are always a great resource for this type of basic Navy information. The My Navy HR website has a lot of information with a much more intuitive layout. Millbook is also a great resource. There are a variety of useful places to visit once you start searching around. As a final note on Millbook, I know I sound like a geek, but it really is a good source of information. The search feature is nice because you can search Navy acronyms and terminology that would make no sense to Google. For example, try Googling MSc Professional Development and see if anything even remotely useful pops up. Finally, senior enlisted are always a great source of information and mentorship as well as officers outside the MSc community. It's always good to cast a wide net and diversify. You never know what blind spots you may uncover.